Alright, just one more run. Seriously, just the one. That's it. One more run. You know, I absolutely have to do one more run of Warriors Abyss. This is a game that you probably didn't even know exists. It is an official Koei Tecmo Dynasty Warriors game. It's also a roguelike. I want to say roguelike, but maybe it's more of a roguelite. Thanks to the Dynasty Warriors franchise and Samurai Warriors and Atelier Ryza, there are a lot of characters to choose from. I think the current number is like 87, if not more, because they just had a patch to add even more characters, like 5 more. So I'm going to try one of those characters today from the Samurai Warriors series. I haven't played Samurai Warriors since PlayStation 2. Alright, so this character, Ginchio Tachibana, gets Muso charge gauge for each Tachibana emblem, and then charge attacks are increased on enemy barriers. You probably have no idea what any of that means, but don't worry, I'm here to sort of guide you through that. I'm your tour guide, basically, into hell, where the goal is to get through hell with the most busted build you can come up with. And I believe I can cook in this game. Now, every run, you start off as basically nobody. So there's like a true 0 to hero setup. I have basic attacks. I have a charge, which looks like that. That's the level 1 version. I believe... So this character herself is lightning, and I don't know what the Tachibanas look like. So let's just grab skill for now. We'll go over that in a second. This is level 2 charge. Ooh, that's like really nice. That's the custom music too. Form Alliance. So this is like a big part of the game is rather than picking up relics, even though there are relics, you're building up a character based on the attributes of each character in the game's universes. So here we have Zhang Liao, Hanbei, and Lu Meng. None of these are lightning and none of them are Tachibana. So you could do a reroll. I have a lot of rerolls to see if you can get any of those. She is also a Flower of War, Torchbearer, and Western Region. So there may be, like, if you see any of that stuff, you may want to consider grabbing it. So Daikiao is Flower of War. She just drops a defensive field. Doesn't really do anything with Flowers of War either. Gonna send it one more time. He's Torchbearer. Eventually that will become like, oh, I want to grab more Torchbearer kind of stuff. She actually needs Flower of War. So I'm gonna grab her. Flower of War and then like one more character. We'll go lightning here, since we know that we're like half lightning. So you saw we had charge attack 1 and 2. This is what number 3 looks like, which is square, 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 triangle. Ooh, wow. Wait, she's got some really good stuff. So this is not a survivors game. If you're familiar with like Vampire Survivors or Brotato, it's basically Dynasty Warriors where they put 1,000 enemies in front of you. You kill them as quickly as possible and then move on to the next. Toyotomi. This is another flower. Shorten summoning cooldown of Flower of War emblem characters, which is speed. So we may want to start thinking about finding speed at some point. As I said, she was part lightning. You gotta figure out where these... I already forget the names. We gotta figure out where these Tachibana are. We could go down the available list here, and you can see none of them in the wind tree is Tachibana. So, head here. The other option was healing yourself. We haven't looked at what that flag is. You don't have to worry about that just yet. So, from what you can see, enemies have purple attacks. And that, From the start, not that bad, but later on it will become pretty nasty, and the screen will be filled with purple attacks like that. This is another Flower of War, part wind. I think we want to dig down a little bit. I just know I'm going to blow through all my rerolls. I wonder if I even have more Tachibana. I wonder if they were part of the update. And I've technically only unlocked one of them. Kanesugu. It's going to be hard to do all the names. This is part lightning. Now, unfortunately, every character we've collected, well, fortunately and unfortunately, we'll be able to use them in our combos. So when you do square triangle, it pulls out one of the characters to do their attack. But right now, I am capped at just the first 3 combos because I don't have any more. Well, we need to get more emblems. So the emblems are the, I believe, the skill emblem, the little swipey that you saw on my first pick. We're gonna need that to unlock attacks 4, 5, and 6, which we have none of so far. Each summon has a cooldown to it, so like ideally you're kind of cycling through each one. We know we're gonna need speed. The level up system is basically our max HP. Another flower, also lightning. We get the 4th part of lightning, which is apply bolt attribute. We're gonna try to be building up these individual columns. And that's like the power breakpoints. These are our level 2 power spikes and beyond. So lightning, the 4th pip we're gonna get right now. The game tries to give you a little bit of an indicator of how strong you are with the attack symbol at the bottom right. Plus 15,000. I'm assuming those are like made up numbers. I don't know where they get that stuff from. We have access to attack 5 from the look of it. Well, attack 4. 2, 3, 4. Very long attack. Did not do the summon after. Oh, I see, I see. So she has what they call an EX attack, which is just triangle, which is actually really strong. She has a lot of movement during that. We'll get the other skill, consecutive hit window. So it's like as you do your combo, you can dodge roll and then continue the combo after. It kind of like extends that duration. We will be taking Ina. She is a flower. She'll be unlocking Lightning Arrow, slightly charge her Muso gauge on enemies with shock. And you all haven't even seen the Muso gauge yet. She got relegated to slot 5, which is currently unusable. We can do Enma's recommended formation, which actually took out Wang Yi and threw Ina in the first slot, which makes a lot of sense, right? Okay, let's go for the chest. We haven't even seen the Muso attack yet. That's what the game's all about, right? Muso. That's gonna be our circle button. Explorer of Worlds. The memories of the dead surging through hell begin to permeate. One day, I encountered a self-professed Explorer of Worlds. He showed me a rift and said, deep within this rift is another world. What kind of world do you think it is? This is like an event from Slay the Spire or something like that. You really just choose what you want over here. No Sin Spewers and increase their defenses. Reduce their defenses, increase their attack for only 1 phase. I don't mind that. Because it's this phase right here and I'm just gonna blow them up. So this is the Muso. Just an AoE lightning around herself. Nothing crazy. You can see the purple on the field is getting a little bit worse. Mission, defeat the Punch Soul in 1 minute. Yeah, we basically want as much lightning as possible. to inflict shock. The punch soul. Oh, there's 3 of them? Oh, they were illusions. We have to find the right one. I was gonna say, is it marked on my map? Here's another one. I don't know if we're gonna get this. Oh my god, we got it at the last second. Give me other speed. Evasion count +1. Some of these are damaging stats, some of them are not. It's like utility. So being able to double dash might be pretty useful. Character may not actually need it, but because she has like a lot of mobility on this thing, her triangle. I assume it does not have iframes though. Maeda getting always fight head on. Most of the time, if you're gonna unlock something, you should just do it. It may not be something you equip right now, but it may turn into something later. Shorten summoning cooldown by 20% for heroes with Flower of War. That was exactly what we're looking for. And he can stay right out there for all I care. Well, to be honest, we could bring... And this is where the game's recommended formation may be a little bit deceptive. Because they have shorter cooldowns, I'd rather have them in. The game's not necessarily gonna know what a shorter cooldown is. Alright, we have shop, 3,600. It's enough to buy like 1 formation. Formations are sort of like global buffs. Usually just a stat stick. It's these down here. So for example, increase attack for flame emblems, increase attack towards sin spewers, which are like not really elites, but specific monsters on the map. Slay and speed of the hero, which like could be okay if we had speed scaling, which we don't, but it is pretty cheap. Let's make sure we don't need these people. Alright, doesn't look like it. So we'll put our money towards Long Snake. And then sometimes it's still worth it to grab these, because even though we don't have like a direct use for Oda or Grace, we're still getting extend ensemble duration and upgrade Slay Power, which is still like fairly useful. You get those effects without even needing to have that character on the board. She's just in my support heroes area. Formation. Yeah, this does say it's a power boost, mainly because whoever's in first slot has a 30% damage buff. Which I'm gonna put Ina. Doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna put her in that slot since she has a really good, really good summon, which looks like this. Like 30% on that is pretty nice. Alright, first boss. Usually we have no issue with this one. As I also mentioned that I am on the 2nd difficulty, traversal level 1, like after beating the game for the first time. The way our bosses work, every boss has a barrier, which you can see is under the health bar. And then they have their actual life. So until we deal damage past this barrier, ooh, wrong button. This is fine. So we're gonna break the barrier here. I do believe we're gonna break that barrier, finally. Would have been nice if I'd done this a little while ago. And then we can do our Muso. When you're in a symbol, like Avengers Assemble, the Muso turns into like a special, which can usually obliterate whatever you're fighting. course, bosses are the exception. So now I have to get through this barrier again, which is fine. You can see the boss shine yellow. What that is, it's like a vulnerability. If you do a charge attack while they are in that, you get some gauge for it, which is typically the main way you would break through the enemy defenses. Sometimes it's worth it just to blow your Muso, even if it's just for iframes. About to say, if I don't break this now, we have to do a whole nother phase. Alright, that wasn't half bad. I got hit one time. Right now, I'm having a little bit of difficulty transitioning from her basic combo and not in a spamming triangle. I guess, like, if you think about it, it may look like a game that you could just spam attack, but it's a little bit more methodical than that. So we've already done these two, I can tell because they're checked off. I'd like to get some other stuff that I have not unlocked yet. Restore HP at the start of each battle. Increase cost in shops by 20%. That's like awful. I feel like I don't need to heal that much. I'd almost rather skip that entirely or just take one of the other things I've already done before. Glacial Wind, second biome. So what's gonna change from here? There's gonna be a lot more monsters. Yeah, that Ikuzo that she does, that's basically her starting her triangle spam. That. And that's me, like, not doing anything but spam. I'm button mashing. Essentially, I need to stop as soon as the first summon comes down and immediately think about my next combo. Defeat 3-punch souls in a minute 30. Yeah, see how much lightning we have on the field? Ideally, we keep it this way. Alright, these are the punished souls. That's one, that's two. I thought I killed the third one. It must not have summoned. No, it's way up here. What in the world? Yeah, that's really good movement. Now, one thing that you can do... So, a big part of the game's power are obviously summoning a character. And sometimes, like, you can't get to the summon because it takes too long of a combo to do it. You can prematurely end the combo to get the summon out sooner. And you'll see me do that every once in a while. Upgrade defenses. I don't know why you're shining yellow as if you're unlocking something. Does someone want Ishida? This person? So that's why he's shining? He is Bolt. He's just not a Flower of War. And yeah, I must not have any of the first name that we talked about as soon as we started. Tachibana. I must not have a single one. Unlock attack actions too. This will actually give me access to the rest of my combos. Let's go ahead and grab it. Now that character we would plan to slide in, but now I have access to attacks 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, the last two, you could basically just drop the character. There's no, like, extended combo for it. How hard is it to scroll through all of this? Look how many characters there are. I think it is sorted appropriately. Yeah, so if I had a Tachibana, I'd definitely be able to see it. I do not have a single one. It's because I haven't unlocked them yet. So in terms of like trying to make a build, lightning would be ideal. I don't know if there's anyone else specifically we need. There are some other like give me lightning stuff. 2 people still want lightning. Elemental attributes. Each character only has either 0 or 1 elemental attribute. So if I want lightning, I should not go into wind at all. Now for all these Flower of Wars having reduced cooldowns, that cooldown is still awfully long, huh? Got hit. There's a lot of like demon looking things like this flower. I think this is considered a sin spewer. If you don't already guess what the story is, we're going through hell to defeat Goma, which is like a demon who has destroyed hell basically. Nice. In a lot of these Eastern mythologies, I think hell isn't exactly the murderscape that we know it. It's a place where evil dead people go, sure. But there's like still palaces and stuff like that. It's just they're still tormenting evil people down here. So Lord Enma is the prince of hell. But hell is in a bad spot thanks to Goma. Oh wow. Hanzo actually has some lightning synergy. Causes an explosion that deals damage nearby when you attack shocked enemies. That could be super interesting once we get enough lightning in the kit. I think I'll bring him in now only because I don't know. It says it's a DPS loss, but these 2 aren't actually doing anything. So I'd say that's another deceptive ranking system. Shops are a bit more expensive. The blue fire that you see there, those embers, that is meta currency to unlock new characters. The game doesn't quite have like bonus damage, bonus attack, bonus defenses. Instead, you unlock characters, and the more characters you unlock, the more stats the game gives you. Like the game considers you level, I think I'm level 50 based on how many characters I've unlocked. Yeah, he does a lightning cloud. And they are shocked. Yeah, right now it's so hard for me to get to combo 4. Is combo 4 her longest attack string? Alright, we have more attack on bolt attribute. No, it's just like 2 slashes before she does the summon. Oda is a lot of synergies, all people that we will probably not be utilizing. This is the Toyotomi part that, again, we shouldn't really care about. Western region is part of increased attack for every wisdom. And we would need some strategists. I think we still roll down for lightning preferably. Though it may be a little difficult to find those. And we're gonna get a little low on rerolls here. That's one. He's part of Brave General, I believe. This is another one if we don't care about Brave General. Part of Lubu Army. And I don't think I have Lubu unlocked. Honestly, I don't remember. Raise attack 1. That was the fist icon, which I think they call Vigor in this game. Increase attack by 5%. So I think that's still a worthy stat to have. As far as Hanzo goes, he needs one more lightning and one shinobi. I don't think there are fire shinobi. Fire anime girls, I guess. We'll go for max HP. Because right now, it's like a little awkward to just grab literally anybody. Here we go. Alright, good lightning. Let's hope for a lightning shinobi, which I think there may be one. So the flow of the game is going to be kind of like what you see for a little while. I think until we get the rest of the lightning characters and then be able to spam Muso. The Muso gauge is a stat by itself that we haven't really invested in. So that might be something that we want to swerve into once all this lightning and shinobi stuff is done. The game actually, for what Koei Tecmo is doing, I did not expect literally anything out of this game. And it actually kind of blew me away. It does its job. World Treasure. Increase attack for heroes with Takeda and Sanada. It also boosts Ina. She literally needs this guy. Okay. So, do I need to make some changes here? So he himself has buffs on Takeda and Sanada, which I believe Ina is one of those. So I could bring him in and replace Hanetsugu, who isn't doing anything right now. The game tries to like highlight who's getting buffs and who's not, or who's potentially getting buffs anyway. So her increase attack of heroes with Flower of War requires the Fist, Vigor. So we need one Shinobi and we need Fist. That's our next like power spike. This is not Fist. And I'm pretty sure there's no Shinobi in here. This technically boosts our Muso gauge though, so maybe that's something we care about. No, there's literally nothing in here. Sometimes the game is about trying to find actual synergies. Just like any other action roguelike, you can win without having anything at all, but if you can try your best... Yeah, we're losing 20% of our money in shops. So wherever we can spend money, we should do it. So as I said, you can beat a lot of action roguelikes with literally nothing at all. But I do think, especially for one more run, like trying to showcase roguelike games, I should at least try to do it in a way that it looks like I'm doing what the game wants. Oh wow, I completely whiffed. It definitely feels like we're getting Muso more often. I guess to be fair, Destroy Decoy Warrior, to be fair, this may circumvent the need to like buff my Muso gauge because she kind of does that naturally through shock. Otherwise, we go for that book emblem. At some point, we got shock last, like double duration. Yeah, that lightning cloud, it's okay, it does a stun. But I feel like it's not super great just yet. Another evade. A symbol gauge. The game put a lot of power into me just getting an extra evasion. Maybe Hanzo has bonus damage based on speed? I think he has that as his base kit, but only if you're actually using him. Not if he's on your roster. Alright, speed again. My assumption is that there are shinobi in here. Slay makes sense for shinobi, right? Yeah, so Kotaro is one, which he's also part of speed. So is Sasuke. I think at that point I may as well go speed. Because, like, that's a 2 in 20 chance. Increase drop rate of money. Increase attack of summoning skills for 3 phases. Get a bead, which allows you to get, like, 2 characters from 1 tree. And that used my money. So again, we want to blow through money outside of shops, because the shops are bad value right now. Unless I was rich. Then I guess it doesn't matter. But we are kind of broke right now. So that was a hard casted. That's not Ina. It's so hard to remember everyone's names. 50 billion characters in this game. I can't be expected to remember everybody. I know Ina. And I know Hanzo. And from my team, that's about it. Raijin? Is that like Thunder God? Okay. Damage to barriers. Disorient, which we aren't really doing. This is pure lightning so far. Unless something crazy happens. So this is a shinobi. And she has another buff with Sanada. So this is actually like double boosted. Her attack is ice, so we won't really get a big benefit from the lightning stuff. Set stats affliction to 100% for heroes with Sanada emblem. I mean, I thought it was already 100%. Another speed, but we're looking for fist. So I should probably not use the bead until fist shows up. Alright, so quick recommended. See what the game says. The game put Nobuyuki in the front. I don't think there's any particular reason why or why not. I think it put Ina in the back because it's 40%. So the game's thinking, I want her to have the most DPS. It took out Kai. I guess it's okay to lose Wang Yi. The game really wants Maeda Toshi in here, but I don't think this is helpful. Increase Muso gauge charge for every Oda emblem, which I think is only himself. So we will remove him and bring Kai back in. And then everything else should be okay, I think. Alright, let's lock it in. We don't need to do that because that's the crystal bead. Second boss, I feel like we got here relatively quickly. Sometimes this biome takes me a little while. Defeat Magadori. Not that bad of a fight for me. See the yellow gauge? See, the current issue I have with Ina being like so far in the back is that I haven't pressed her button at all. Dang, I am wasting my dashes. Alright, there she is. So unfortunately, I missed like every yellow barrier, which isn't like super great from a DPS perspective. Like, if anything, you should just do the charge. Oh my god, I didn't get this thing out. That's a sick move. As I congratulate the boss for its sick moves. Oh my god, I did that just for the iframe. I was absolutely gonna get hit there. I think we put Ina back in the 1 slot. I think she's more important than the other guy in terms of getting out my kit. Alright, see if we can do as much as we can. I might have to go through another... Oh, wow. Fist. 1 level to Muso gauge charge when destroying an enemy barrier. That's actually pretty good. I thought it was all just attack up. That's another way to, like, scale Muso gauge without me having to go down the Muso tree. Hello? Alright. New relic. Increase your beads by 3, lose all your money. Again, I've used both of these. Increase any money and embers awarded from missions by 200%. Again, I'm kind of going for it because it's something I haven't taken yet. This game has a really big completionist log with lore tied to it. So I think ideally they want you to pick up everything and beat the game with every character. Oh dang, I forgot to change out my formation. I just want to go to Ina, and it's like so hard for some reason. Yeah, it requires like an odd amount of focus. I have to look back to check on the cats, but here I am trying to do these combos. It's like a counting game too. Like I need to count how close am I to doing my summon. Yeah, you can level up this maneuver, like stay active for longer. And I wonder if that's something I should probably think about doing. Biome 3, by the way. Pretty good damage. I heal every time I go into a new biome, so I'm not like super worried. Alright, we're switching. You, not there. You here. He does penetrating blade. I think if anything, all the flowers should be in the front because they have the shortest cooldowns and are gonna be the most spammable. That is a fist. Temporary invulnerability, I assume that's on hit. He's a flower of war. Fire. Interesting. So that increased attack range of some of our summons. This was shield, so I don't think we do that. How much fist do I need? Who was that on? Wait, was it on someone who got removed? Maybe we're good on fist. I'm scrolling through. We need whoever that person is. Oh, okay. Kai needs 1 more fist. Increase attack of Takeda and Sanada. Honda is Tokugawa. It should show me who's getting boosted. So 2 people are getting boosted right now. We have to decide, like, do we want to bring in Tadakatsu, who is himself a flower of war? I guess technically he gets no other buffs. He does have a synergy with Ina. So, like, later on, I think we do this, but not quite yet. Not yet. Hold. Lightning. double fist Lu Bu lightning in here. That could be interesting. I assume Lu Bu is not a flower of war, just to say that. Oh yeah, that is much better than whatever I was doing before. So this lady's from Samurai Warriors. She's using some kind of like energy blade. It's like, is this a special character? For some reason I don't remember energy blades in Samurai Warriors, but that was easily like 20 years ago that I played. Back when you could rent video games, I remember renting Samurai Warriors on the PS2. And I was like, yo, these games are so sick, and I ended up buying a copy, probably used from EB Games before GameStop was a thing. And now look at us. Now we get to do Samurai Warriors as much as we want, because there's no story. Well, there's some light story here. But you could just load up the game and just kill millions for fun. There is an objective. Obviously, you want to win and climb in difficulties. You have to kill the boss. Oh, I think it jumped to me? No, it's up here. Unfortunately, the indicator just went away. Oh wow, it got knocked down after it hit me. Alright, ult. I believe once you break the barrier on this, the barrier does not come back, unlike regular bosses. So it's almost like a miniature version of the real boss. Same moveset, but less HP. Completely whiffed my combo. I gotta stop getting hit. Oh wow, it did get its barrier back. Okay, so this is like literally the boss. It has the same mechanics. Still have a minute left. But as you can see, like once you get... Oh wow, I'm getting close to death. Once you get a lot of purple on the screen, without a massive amount of wave clear, the game gets like pretty spicy. I don't know what evasion does further up the tree, because I've never gone this high up. So you get evade, boost attack speed, boost defense, cooldown reduction, free movement. What in the world's free movement? Oh, move through enemies, no body blocking. But we definitely need to go up. Lightning still. Dang. I guess evasion cooldown would have saved me in a few of these fights. Alright, chest. A little bit of wind, even though we aren't really doing any wind attribute at all. This is a fist. It's the last part of War Rose of the Floating Castle. Boost Naoei's letter, because we got the other Uesugi. Lu Bu showed up. Lu Bu is lightning. Increase the amount of extra bolt damage by 200%. And then another character we don't have yet. I feel like you don't skip Lu Bu. This is my first time ever using him. Oh yeah, the interrupt enemies makes them fall unconscious is really important. Let's actually do the roll. Nene summons other Toyotomis. He has his own army. It's like interesting, but I think we roll. I only have 3 left. Zhao Yun, but we aren't doing anything with that other guy up there. Nene came back. Sophie. We would need 1 more fire. Further shortens and increases attack of Flower of War. Pretty interesting, not gonna lie. And her skills are Bolt and Flame. Wow, the DPS increased 200% over here. I think just because we're getting shock probability is a big part of it. And then he's also giving us the attack speed. And the game doesn't really value the fire. Crap. 1 more. Alright, he came back. That must be a sign. Doesn't have to get slotted in because we don't care about the Brave General stuff. Alright, so recommended. Definitely brought in Lu Bu. I think increased Flower of War emblem damage is still actually important. Who else did we boost? I still feel like the ninja art shock explosion's important, but then we'd have to take out Sanada emblem from Kunauchi. Ina is a Sanada. See, like, you have to think about all of this. So there's a lot of arrows here. This is Flower of War emblem cooldown. Oh, so like right now? Well, he definitely has to go. Absolutely. Like, I may as well just put him in an empty slot. So we have to consider Flower of War, which the only ones left is really Tadakatsu. He has a lot of up arrows on a lot of people, including this other Sanada. Maybe this is the answer. I feel like I'm getting like a little bit shafted on the Flower of War stuff. Only because like we really want to emphasize on the lightning. So maybe there's a world where we opt out of stuff like her and start bringing in other people completely. All right. We hit 1 mil. This is another fist. I think we're done with fist. One thing about this game, I'm always backtracking to see what I needed. Okay. So the other fist. Oh, it was her. So yeah, we're done. And even then, like, we're thinking maybe we don't need that anymore. One thing I didn't mention. So not only do you have your basic character, this one wanted different families, so I don't have access to because I haven't unlocked them yet. There are also weapons in the game. The weapon is basically a brand new attribute, a brand new passive, similar to the one I'm already not utilizing. Those can come from the chest. So sometimes it's a good idea if you don't know what you want, just go for whatever has a chest in it. Try to get some progression. I love the green splatter. I don't know why, it's very punky to me, like it's spray paint. I don't know if that was the vibe they were going for, but it's the one that I'm getting from it. Now, I don't know if we're getting those lightning explosions. I did take Hanzo out, so we must not be, right? This is Lu Bu. Oh, he just explodes around himself. Slay. Assemble gauge. Summoning skill duration. And then technically what you do is you would check to see, does anyone actually use summoning skill duration? So if you look, each character has a level to different things. There's spread, which I think is count, like missile count, projectile count. There's range, and then there is duration. So it looks like duration, Lu Bu doesn't do anything because it's just one explosion. I would assume radius would count, but apparently not. Looks like a lot of my characters do utilize duration. So if I understood it correctly, when I go back, yeah, her duration is now level 2. So that's how you like scale that part up. Alright, so now we're at the point where, not to say we can take literally anything, but there's not anything in particular besides maybe some lightning characters who would do something for us. Which means I don't really want to spend rerolls on just like shooting in the dark. Could probably use skill. I think skill led to attack speed. Which, not gonna lie, my attack speed is kind of fire already. And look at the distance she can travel. That's without doing dodge roll. 30-second cooldown. Because she's not a Flower of War, she's a Shinobi. We're pretty strong though. Like, not gonna lie, I don't feel like I'm in any danger. As long as we can actually get through the combos. Like, probably the main thing that would kill me is failing a combo. Consecutive hits restore HP might be worth it. Unlock attack action 3. Interesting. Makes it possible to use EX attacks and applies attributes to divergent attacks. So I think my triangle now applies shock rather than like waiting on my regular combo to do it. So ideally, I should always do my charge attack, which is this. Like, I think it was showing this now applies lightning. Yeah, I don't think the Flower of Wars are doing anything anymore. So we're just trying to boost some stats, which he has both speed and skill. Unfortunately, like, we're so high up in the chain for both of those, we aren't really getting a lot of benefit until we get, I think, 2 at a time. And then we get a Giga Boost. Yeah, I'm not doing the Lu Bu very often. It's like she's so fast transitioning from her combo to her dash attack. I have too much attack speed. I didn't think that was gonna be an issue, but it seems to be. I do feel kind of bad for not having Hanzo in here for those lightning explosions. And I don't think he's an Oda or anything that we're getting boosted from. I think he's just Shinobi. We gotta do this. I'm gonna take damage. I just need the iframes. 600 enemies. I love that effect. Now, I usually stream this game, and one thing that you have issues with while live streaming is what they call bitrate. It's like how much I can send over the internet so that my viewers can see what I'm doing. And typically, if you're playing a game with a lot of colors, bitrate becomes an issue. So this game would be a pixelated mess, usually, when I'm streaming it. Hopefully you all are getting a little bit extra. Have a different setup for just doing recordings. So I hope it doesn't look too bad. Charm? That's a symbol, like Avengers Assemble gauge. I'm never getting a weapon. Consecutive hit, 200%. That's like after I dash, I can continue the combo. 43,000 DPS. Or you can get an anime girl, which is only 11,000. She's another Flower of War if we want to go down that route. Destroy barriers to charge Muso level 2. Evade boost attack speed. Wasn't I complaining about attack speed earlier? Oh, summons other heroes who have the summoning skill Soaring Blade. Interesting. That's like really weird. So some characters have the same name for their attacks but different elements. And the game will actually scale those up with some of this stuff. Soaring Blade Bolt. Soaring Blade Ice. But I believe it has to be on your roster. It can't be on your bench. Which means you'd have to actually slot them in. And I do not believe that's going to be like very good. See, he's just a Tokugawa. Looking at the DPS chart, everything is minus DPS for bringing him in. So I think we chill. There's no one I, like, straight up don't like. I guess Kunauchi is the only thing that's, like, a little bit off. Maybe, like, we don't need the status effect stuff. But we could consider bringing in someone else. DPS-wise, they really like Maeda for some reason. No idea why. It would probably just be Tadakatsu. Legendary Blow. It's fire. And not in a good way. Zhao Yun. No one has, like, any buffs I want right now except for Hanzo. And ideally, we just need that guy. Which is, I think, another Honda. I have no idea what stats he has. He's not in here. Let's get some max HP. I feel like that's the only person we're like legitimately looking for that could change this build around ever so slightly. I do not believe he's Slay. I do have him unlocked. We have $9,000. I know this is like bad value because these are inflated prices, but it might be fine. Alright. We could just get these for stats. Nothing wrong with that. Tiger Cub. Shen Gong is part of Lu Bu army. He himself gets a boost by having Lu Bu. Sometimes you go down here to look for anything that is lightning. Some really big DPS boosts in here, because I think the game's trying to say, hey, we could give you attack up for like every character you have. The only thing you're utilizing right now is speed. The game's like, who cares about speed? What you need is plus attack for everybody. And then I'll just grab this because it's on sale. Does some Muso not Muso Gauge, some barrier tech. Change out this for Scissor. And then we have to bring in this guy, Chen Gong. Oppressive formation, create a zone that lowers the enemy's attack power. I believe the game will not like that. But he himself can summon other Lu Bu army, which could be like pretty impactful. Increase attack of Flower of War, which is myself. So I think summoning cooldown, even though the game says is actually stronger, like attack rating wise, because this is boosting my personal attack, I think you take her out. And then eventually we look for the other 2 wisdom books. Alright, third boss. I do say the game, it's like fairly long if you're doing all the talking like I am. Because we still have another biome after this and then final boss. But, like, the build's not done. Dang, I didn't have a dodge ready. Yeah, so the big part right now is we really need to get through. Oh, that's the, that's the lower enemy attack area. It's like very, very small. I do like the attacks from this thing. I think we're gonna have to like hard cast some of my attacks. I think the current issue is I'm not reaching the combo by the time I have to do a dodge roll. Alright, so broken. Finally reach this. I think we just immediately go into my Muso, because this thing will get up. Alright, we did about half. And now it's gonna summon ads. I feel like I have too much attack speed. Just trying to watch the boss while also watching every purple just aura go in my direction. Ow, 66? In this economy? Alright, they should break. Wow. Really surprised about that. I don't have my Muso ready. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go through this one more time. Just try to get in as much damage as I can. Alright, we're good. Get me out. Yeah, despite having all these dodge rolls, I never have my dodge roll ready. Because it's not like add a set number of dodge rolls, it's consecutive, so it still goes on cooldown. More range. Some people do want that. Yeah, this is gonna be really painful. And we still have a main boss to deal with. And it's already looking like this. Looks like the answer is I just need to walk sometimes. Maybe what I'm doing is I'm using the dodge roll too much, and I need to really like trust in my speed stat to just literally walk. Maybe this is not a dodge revolution kind of game. Adds 100% of your speed to your defenses. I do have a lot of speed. This is fine. Go ahead and go through. So we're looking for wisdom, which is books. I need like 2 wisdom. And then that weird guy with the attack down, he gets a buff. Wildfire, increase your meta currency. Lose 5% of your health, which should be fine. I'm okay with getting the embers because I still need to unlock stuff. There's a billion characters in the game, and I still don't have all of them. I mean, it looks good. Yeah, that plus 15, that's me hard casting the character. Because I can't wait that long for the combo to come out. When you have, like, summoning cooldown reduction, we have Flower of War cooldown reduction. It's usually not that awful to do the hard cast like I am. Reduce summoning cooldown even more. Add to defenses. And this leads to more defense. Bestows you with invulnerability if you are hit by an enemy. And then duration. Like I said, I'm trying my best to not go down redundant trees if possible. Defenses should always be a good thing, right? Famous last words. The game is almost like if you can count to 3, then you can do the right attack, but sometimes with enough attack speed, you go way overboard. Especially since she has a triangle attack. As soon as I do my square button and then press triangle again, she's already doing something else. 1,000 enemies. Oh yeah, you all see that attack speed? My god. So 1,000 enemies is like, it's a pretty decent chunk of enemies, right? Like, we've been playing this game this entire time, and we have to kill enough enemies to cover basically the first biome almost completely. If it started off at 60, then 100, then 150, I have to do like the entirety of the first biome in this one stage. If you think about it that way, that's like pretty impressive. It's almost like those ARPGs and MMOs where it's like if you level up 99 to 100 is the same XP as 0 to 98. That's what this feels like right now. I'm on a timer. 15 seconds to kill 400 enemies. I guess it's also a test of your build. Have you actually made something at this point? Probably could have saved my Muso gauge. Alright, weapon. Now the weapon. It's so hard to get weapons. They eventually added it so you can get a weapon from just buying it. Boost on Nautara? Is that someone we're actually using right now? No. It's her. Flower of War cooldown reduction. She gets access to like whatever the powered up version of Rapid Fire Bolt is. I feel like, oh wow, 134,000. Because we're getting the protective bolt. That's really all it's doing. It's just a plus lightning. Surely I can get that back, right? Maybe not. Just grab it. Alright, so now we have a lightning orb that circles around me. Yeah, I'd be worried about not taking the immediate damage. Like, trying to cook further on Naotara, or whatever her name was. Like, it's fun in theory, but it may not actually happen, right? I gotta get that guy off slot 4. I press that button way too often. Like, I don't know why, but I can do 1, I can do 4, and I can do 6. If you're not in those slots, for some reason I have a lot of difficulty accessing that. And it's just a get good, really. There's nothing in the game besides maybe my attack speed that influences how easily I do a combo. I guess for some characters, like, they may have a long combo string, in which case, like, oh, I'm never gonna do combo 3, because it just takes too long. You have to hard cast it every time. That's my 3, which has a really long charge attack. She's ice. Should we take her out for maybe Hanzo? I'm just a little worried that she's also part of our Flower of War tech. But if she's ice, then maybe I'm not getting like that much benefit from her. I'm gonna try to save my Muso gauge. I mean, no reason, right? The less buttons we press, the more damage we take. It's definitely a press every button kind of game. So far, I feel like we're doing a lot better in regards to, like, taking damage. However, this boss on this biome is going to be the hardest boss in the game. Decoy Warrior in 1 minute. Found him. I'm trying my absolute best to attack him without taking a crap load of damage. That's kind of the fun of this game, is everyone's attacking you at the same time. And I feel like in the survivors, these would just be PNGs. Maybe there's contact damage. But outside of that, like, you just kind of attack for free and don't screw up. And here, the monsters are attacking you the entire time. This came back. A lot of that was fire tech. Alright, so... her. Shortened summoning cooldown to Flowers of War. She's also lightning. I feel like we bring her in and we take out Kunauchi. She's giving us damage for Sanada emblems. The game's actually saying this is now a DPS buff. I think the game put Chen in the 10% slot because he doesn't do damage. He only creates that zone that lowers attack power. I still need 2 more books. And then eventually the game's gonna want more Lubu army. This is interesting. So he's not a Flower of War, but the other guy is Honda. But he doesn't have his bonus. So I feel like we chill. The only other option would be to bring in Hanzo, which still needs like 1 more piece of his puzzle. We're at 2 mil, which is usually a good sign. Let's see if he's in here. He's not. Maybe he's a wisdom. Let's try to dig down for those 2 books. I hate calling it book, but I feel like saying vigor, you all will have no idea what I'm talking about, so I may as well say fist. The only other one is skill, which is the swipe. Like, how do I say swipe? Like, how do I portray swipe? Do you all agree that skill is a swipe? Maybe you don't. Yeah, we're kind of at the point where we have to use all of our buttons. If we have a symbol gauge, no real reason to just sit on it. Is someone doing Slay? Whose purple attack is that? Sorry for all the Ikuzos, that's her triangle button. Or fist. See, like, swipe. It's called skill. But to me, it's like swipe. Bonus attack against barriers. Required gameplay right there. Sakon Shima. I am not, like, doing any of this. I don't care about the ice. If anything, we just take this for the one lightning and one skill. Even though we have, like, no real benefit just yet, it will become a benefit later. Keep it going. I assume we don't really want money, because there may not be a shop for a long time. There may be no more shops, as far as I know. Yeah, don't forget, we're getting, I believe, Muso gauge on enemies with shock. Hopefully I didn't take that person out, because that was fairly strong. I have no idea who was actually doing that, just to be completely open and honest. We can now summon Ina more often. Thanks to Flower of War cooldown that's now back after taking it out for a while. My juggles are pretty legit. She has really good attacks. I still don't know the name of this character. Ginchio. Ginchio has some really good attacks. Just to say that. It's just a matter of, like, with so much attack speed, I get lost in the sauce a little bit. Nice. Keep pushing for speed. That's giving us defense. We're gonna need it for the boss. That's a book. That's also a book. You are not a book. So I believe we're doing Lu Su. Not to be confused with Lu Bu. This guy is part of the Wu army. Not to be confused with the Wu-Tang clan. Hop in here. I do believe that, like, the build is basically done. Not to say that we're kind of, like, shooting for the stars. But we can only go, like, really, really far up from here. The sky's the limit now. But like I said, the final, not even the final boss, this boss, before the final boss, is really difficult. So I feel like I need to be as strong as possible, or else I will actually just straight up lose. No matter how much defense I just got. 1,000 enemies. What a number. I guess by now you should be so strong that 1,000 enemies is just a sneeze. Like, you can kill 1,000 enemies in your sleep once you get this strong. Once you hit the 2 milli, 1,000 enemies is nothing. We grew ourselves out of the mud. And now we do 2 milli, easy. It's the true rags to riches or zero to hero setup right here. We start off at 0, now we're 2 milli. Alright, there's a lot of punished guys here, so First one in the corner. 1 second. Whenever I do recordings like this, I try to do them in one take with limited interruptions. But of course, we have the cats and anything else because I had the doors open too. I don't want someone to just walk into the house. So, probably in our best interest to, you know, step away when we can. Not a big deal. I'm sure you all understand. Book. Pincer strategy is what we unlock here. Attack for Muso. It's pretty good. Pincer strategy. I guess we'll see right here. Alright, so doesn't really tell us what has changed on Pincer strategy. Oh, right. He can now summon anyone from Lubu army. Do I have one more character? He's not part of Lubu army over here, is he? No. Interesting. I'm surprised that, like, hovering him puts up arrows on that guy down there. Increase attack for Brave General. Oh, he is part of Lubu army, and he's lightning. Okay, hang on. Because that's actually important. So we still have Flower of War tech. The game values this because it's buffing only Ina. I think he can come out. I'd rather be able to summon more people than, like, buff a single character. I don't know what the game could offer me at this point. Double books. That's the buff for Zhao Yun. Bolt Power 4. Sophie. Sophie is a Flower of War. But I don't think we can bring her in. Shortens summoning cooldown by 20% and increases attack. Is she just straight up better? Hang on, hang on. Is she, like, literally better than Naotora? Rapid Fire Bolt Cannon. Shorten summoning cooldown. I guess the issue with Sophie from Atelier Ryza, well, I guess some Atelier series, maybe she has her own game, is we don't have her alchemy bonus. We would need one more anime girl. I think they're the only ones that are called independent. But the game claims she is a 4 million DPS bonus. Oh wait, these are all in the millions. Because of Bolt Power? This is a 5 million bonus. No anime girls allowed? B, I'll actually unsubscribe if it's a single anime girl on the screen. I mean, sure, why not? Hey, the build's legit right now. We don't switch it up. If we make too many changes, we rock the boat and then we end up in trouble. Let's go for speed because we know this gives us defense. Not sure if there's anyone in here we're looking for in particular. So, double summon? Oh, yeah. Alright, that's actually sick. There's a couple of characters who do that, like summon others from the clan. Definitely lightning here. Try to finish this off if possible. Yeah, oh my god, I just fell to my death? That's a thing in this game? What in the world? Alright, a little bit of a 5 things I wish I knew. So yeah, now doing the summon on my 4 slot, this guy, doesn't feel like as awful because he does do 2 damaging effects. Not just his attack down feel. And that to me is like part of the fun of this game is it started off with what? Basically nothing. And now look at us. 7 million strong. And counting, assuming the game's not over yet. We could be very close to the boss. We got 1 more, maybe 2 more fights left. SlimyYy. We don't use either of those people. Same here. So now the numbers are a little inflated because the game has assumed that leveling up stuff is gonna be like game breaking. And to be fair, it kinda is. So yeah, look at SlimyYy. Summons other heroes who have the Jin emblem. Which we probably have a lot, but I assume none of them are lightning. Alright, we got evasion cooldown reduction. I'll go for shop, because I have a decent chunk of cash. Could buy multiple characters. 11,000. I think we buy out the shop. Summoning skill shots for anyone who actually utilizes that. A bunch of character level ups. But we only really care about fortify during assemble. Date, who does nothing. She is a flower, but we would not use her. What are these? I guess these are locked because you don't own the blueprint. This formation cannot be acquired as it has not yet been unlocked. 8 gates Goldilocks. 3 million. Pretty strong. I do believe we take that. We'll grab this. And then we will increase our Muso gauge to full. Equip it. I'd hate to see the recommended formation. I feel like if I do that, I'm actually gonna forget what I had in the beginning. 12 milli. I mean, hey. We started off at absolute 0, now look at us. Having to fight against evil Lu Bu, bloodthirsty warrior. This is where the game is really hard. Alright, my Muso did basically nothing to the boss. Get this out. Oh wow, he command grabbed. Yeah, I think I may have to hard cast some of these. Because we're gonna run into an issue where, oh my god, instant command grab. I have a lot of defenses though. We're gonna run into the issue where I can't actually get out my kit because it just takes too long. Compared to this guy with his instant attacks. Alright, he should get knocked. Try to milk this as much as I can. I believe our damage is non-existent. This is what 12 milli looks like? I mean, that's not that bad. I'm exaggerating a little bit. We're fine. Nice, got the break. Yeah, I think the big thing right now is making sure I actually do my summons when he has the yellow aura. Because that's the only way we're gonna get meter. And there's so much crap attacking me at the same time. Alright. We should have it. Luckily, all of our buddies are clearing the ads around me. I don't have Muso gauge. Uh-oh. I should have held that, I guess. I just got it at the end of a symbol. Wow, the fact that's range and can still do the break, that is actually sick. I can see all my folks are trying. Nice. Just try to get this out. There we go. Oh, for some reason that fight just scares me. We'll get the speed. I do think we can find one more emblem in the final boss fight. If you made it this far, I hope the game looks as exciting as it feels to play. Because I'm already a big fan of Dynasty Warriors games. I just haven't played them since the PS2 era. So it makes me feel like I'm playing a PS2 game. And that's a compliment. Sometimes you say, oh, this game looks like a PS1 game, but sometimes that's actually good. That's what I'm getting from this. It's literally fun. Imagine not wanting to have fun. See, like I greeted, but they still gave me the meter. Dang, that does not reach very far. Yeah, a lot of times I can only do attack 1 because I have to do the interrupt. Nice spin. Alright, we're gonna do this because he's pretty low. I don't think I'm strong enough to just one-shot him through this. My actual, damage on Muso and a symbol are really low. That's a stat that we completely ignored. To get as much lightning, speed, and attack as possible. And to be fair, that leads to defense. And I do think I am staying alive thanks to our defenses. It's like an ARPG, we have good defensive layers. Sometimes they say, don't even worry about damage. You can always kill them if you live. If you don't live, then all that damage you have is worthless. Because see, I don't remember what it's doing. Trust me, I am trying to get to my kit. It's a pretty intense fight, TBH. Oh my god, I can't believe I got hit by that. Alright, we're gonna have to go through one more of these, which is fine. I'll probably have Avengers Assemble by then. Yeah, the big issue is it wasn't doing that for the longest time, giving me anything yellow to break. I believe the break does extra barrier destruction, maybe? This isn't even the hard part. Holy crap, he is so tanky. Ain't no way that's a build issue. There we go. Alright. That's phase 1. Bet you didn't think this game had phase 2 on its bosses. Is that your true form, Goma? Don't hold back, hero. As I said, we're only on difficulty... Oh, crap. Difficulty 1, so I have seen all this stuff before. This part's pretty fun. We have speed. As I walk onto the attack. I'm in range. But as you see, that attack itself is not very strong. If you're to ask me where my damage is, it's probably just on Lubu. Lubu and Ina. Alright. I am not close to a symbol at all. Just try to get everybody out. Alright, get your popcorn ready. This may take a little while. And now we have ads. Ooh, that swipe attack is so sick. It's almost hard to like do the whole talking segment because there's so much for me to worry about. You may think it's just button mashing. I promise you I'm not button mashing. I have to count to at least 3. Sometimes I have to count to 4. This might be too early. Just doing it because I have a barrier. Nice. Alright, let me do this. Yeah, I could have saved that. Maybe like do some more damage while the barrier's down. I want to get that barrier down as well. Really? Got hit by the single orb. You can actually stat yourself in a way that you can destroy these orbs. Alright, where are you? Back to center? Whoa! Oh my god! Dang, no benefit from that. Fortify during a symbol we don't need. A little unfortunate. But that was gonna be like a win more emblem anyway. You don't want that emblem to be like, oh, I needed that for my build. Gonna say, where are we going? I don't think I'm gonna have Muso and a symbol at the same time. Like, I want to attack during this because it seems fun. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't think I'm gonna reach it. So we're probably gonna go through one more of these, I imagine. Jeez, get me out. Look at all the purple. Of course you left. Of course. Gonna say we have to actually hold out. I have Muso gauge, but we gotta use that with the actual Avengers Assemble. Of course, I walk right into that. I think you have to do a charge attack to destroy those. Alright, closer. There we go. Instant. Are you all hitting? Alright, this should be it. Oh, wow. And that's only traversal level 1. I believe it goes up to 5. And then there's an extra difficulty. I don't want to say it's after this, but it's like a separate game mode where you take these characters that you won with and you pit those up against I think an endless mode until you decide, yeah, this is... Because you like stack different modifiers in that mode. It's actually pretty cool looking. But for this main type of roguelike, we have to get through all the difficulties, and then the final one is probably the true ending. I'd say my only complaint about the game, so I beat the game just now on Ginchio. She has a traversal level 1 win, which is great at 12 million power. However, for me to do traversal level 2 as the next difficulty up, she can do it, as well as anyone else who has beaten traversal level 1. But, as you can see, like, I can do level 2. But, if I wanted to try a new character, let's say I got a weapon for Gomon. Well, I have a weapon for Kai. If I wanted to use her Sea Cleaver, I have to beat difficulty 1. I cannot go straight to 2. Even though I may have all unlocks already done at that point, I still have to go through in my opinion, the slog of beating every character that I want to see at max difficulty. I think from like a dev standpoint, their idea is that, oh, you're playing the characters you want. You want Muneshigi to get to max difficulty, so you would play him 5 times in a row. Or you may really like... Who do I need to unlock? You may really like Modochika. I want them to get all the way up to max difficulty. I am willing to play them 5 times in a row to do that. But for a lot of roguelikes I play, I typically go straight to top difficulty and then just stay there. So it's a very like different kind of experience for me. I'm not necessarily saying it's bad, but it's the one thing that I would say is like a little bit of a turn-off for this game specifically. Otherwise, the game's fantastic, and if you like it, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more 1 more runs and 0 to heroes of roguelike games. We do these all the time. And check out the main channel, Veedotme on YouTube. You'll be able to see deep dives and guides of this kind of stuff. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.